My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video. This is a warning, suckers. If you do not want to be spoiled, do not. I brother repeats himself. My brother repeats himself. Do not watch this video. This video will contain major spoilers of The Last of Us, bro. Okay? If you did not beat the game yet and you don't want to be spoiled, do not watch this video. If you did not buy the game yet, which I have no clue why, slap yourself, dude, really. Do not watch this video, okay? If I see one comment saying, really, gamer bro, really, I planned on buying the game, but you just spoiled it for me. Thanks a lot, my Negro. No, because I warned you suckers, okay? Major spoilers coming in 1, 2, 3. Okay, I warned you, okay? I warned you. But saying that, let's talk about some spoilers in The Last of Us. Obviously, if you want me to talk about my opinions on the ending of The Last of Us, bro. But I do want to talk about just a few other scenes before I get to the ending. Okay, first off, keep this in mind. I was already under the impression that Joel was going to die and Ellie was going to get infected and turn, because before The Last of Us came out, you know how they warned you to not read the comment sections or go on forums or websites about The Last of Us? My dumb behind decides to do just that. I remember the day I was reading the comment section on The Last of Us video on YouTube. And I don't know why I was doing it. I just wanted to know everything about The Last of Us. So I decided to read the comment section one day, and I come across this comment. Dude straight up said, yeah, I don't have a PS3. I'm an Xbox guy, but yeah, Joel dies and Ellie turns and gets infected, and yeah, enjoy The Last of Us. And I'm just like, no, because I didn't want to know anything about the game. I wanted to go into The Last of Us spoiler free. So I'm already going into this game thinking that somebody just spoiled the ending for me. So keep that in mind, okay? Ellie, first off, getting back to the comic book real quick in this sucker, okay? I am going through the comic book now, and as well, the art book for The Last of Us. But the comic book, this is Ellie in the front, and I'm assuming that black sister that's in the background is Marlene, and that's where you first see Ellie. She's with Marlene, and you know, they didn't really go too much into their relationship, but in some scenes you do see that Ellie and Marlene really do care for each other. And Marlene said before Ellie's mom died that she asked Marlene to look over Ellie, so that's why Ellie is with Marlene the first time you see her. Pretty much, long story short, Robert, which Joel and Tess did Robert so dirty, but Robert betrayed Joel and Tess, gave their weapons to Marlene. Now Joel and Tess want their weapons back. And Marlene's like, cool, no problem, but I need something smuggled out of the city. And she's in no shape to do it because she just got shot. So pretty much, she tells you to take Ellie to this destination, so you know, and after you do that, you can get your weapons back. So Joel and Tess agrees to do it, and you know, they get caught outside past the curfew hours by these two soldiers. They tell them to get on their knees so they can check to see if they're infected. Joel's not infected, Tess is not infected, but she does offer a blowjob to one soldier. And then they're starting to go to Ellie, and she starts to freak out. She's like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. And then she stabs the guy in the leg. And you know, then they kill those two soldiers. Tess picks up the device that the soldier dropped, and she sees that it says positive. That means that Ellie is infected. So she gives it to Joel, and Joel's like, why are we smuggling in an infected girl? So they just thought that Marlene just set them up. And Ellie, she starts to freak out because they're about to kill Ellie. She's like, it's been 3 weeks. And then Joel's not having no part of it. He's like, I'm not buying it. Tess, what are we doing? And then she's like, it's been 3 weeks. And you know, again, I went into this thinking that Ellie is going to get infected and turn. So it kind of had me thinking, dude, someone really just spoiled the story for me. But it had a slight twist to it. Because then you kind of get the idea that Ellie might be immune to the infection. So I was trying to follow the story with still having someone spoiling the ending for me in the back of my head. So let's fast forward a little bit. Tess, she gets infected. And, you know, she pretty much sacrifices herself and says, I will not turn into one of those things. Joel, take Ellie, get her to this destination, forget it, and forget about me. So Tess, she pretty much sacrifices herself, and the soldiers come in to the place where you guys were, and they kill off Tess. And I love Tess's character, but her death didn't really have that much of an impact on me because she died so early in the game. But I really did love Tess though. But so Tess is dead, and when she showed off the bite to Joel, she was bitten like an hour ago, and the bite looked way worse than Ellie. So that's when you start to think maybe Ellie is immune to this infection. Fast forward, Joel and Ellie are now in the subway tunnels running away from the soldiers. And inside the subway tunnels are a whole bunch of spores that you cannot breathe in, because that's another way to get infected. So Joel has to put on his gas mask. Meanwhile, Ellie is just like like she's breathing in this stuff like it's Febreze or something like that. So that's when I really started to believe, okay, Ellie is immune to this infection. So throughout this journey, Joel, he's really just focused on escorting Ellie and, you know, just being done with it. You know, he doesn't really have no emotional attachment to Ellie. But as the journey keeps on going on, and as Ellie saves his life multiple times, you know, Ellie, you know, really does start to grow on Joel. And you see that Joel starts to actually care for this girl that at once he was just escorting. You know, so fast forward, Joel gets before I get to that, the Black Brothers. When I seen these two, I'm like, I love them already, but when are they going to die? Because video games, movies, TV shows, the Black Brothers always die, okay? Henry and Sam. I loved those two characters. I loved them because they really gave off a relationship that they were older brother and younger brother. But more importantly than that, I liked them because they were black. So you know, but I really felt that at some point they could be a part of the group, because, you know, Sam and Ellie, you know, they were getting along, and Joel and Henry, they started to get along. So I really thought that at one point, you know, they might become a part of your group. Long story short, Sam gets bitten. He doesn't tell nobody because he doesn't want no one to freak out. Ellie wakes up the next morning. She's like, God damn, what's that smell? What are y'all cooking inside this sucker? Henry is making breakfast. He tells Ellie to go get Sam. Ellie goes inside Sam's room. You see Sam's back like, turns around, Sam is infected. I'm like, I cannot say that this surprises me. I knew they were going to die. So Sam, he gets infected, and Joel, he's about to shoot Sam, and Henry shoots at Joel saying, "That's my freaking brother! Don't you touch him!" But then it hits Henry that Sam is infected. So Henry shoots his own brother. And then it looks like he's about to shoot Joel, but instead he just shoots himself. He's like, I'm not about to be the last black man on Earth. Bye. and he shoots himself. So that scene to me was probably the saddest scene, when Henry and Sam died. You know, that scene really got to me, because I really started to like those two characters, you know. Fast forward, Joel gets impaled by that thing when he falls over the balcony. And again, keep in mind, I'm already thinking Joel is going to die by that comment section comment that I read. So at that point I was pissed off, because I was like, I knew this was coming, but you know, it looked like Joel was about to die. And then the complete role reversal. It went from Joel taking care of Ellie to Ellie taking care of Joel. He started to play with Ellie, and she met David, which at first I thought he was a good guy who had good intentions. But then when you look at it, he was kind of starting to, you kind of got the impression that he was being nice towards Ellie because she was a kid, and he thought that, you know, he could just, you know, sweet talk Ellie and get her to tell him the stuff he really wanted to know. So after he seen that he couldn't crack Ellie, this dude was about to kill Ellie. So you know, and then that's when Joel, he finally wakes up, and you know, he has enough strength to, you know, walk on his own 2 feet. Then he goes out to look for Ellie. Then fast forward, you get to that scene to where you have to fight David with Ellie inside that restaurant, and then that cutscene to where Ellie's just on top of David, like chopping this dude in the chop suey, chopping this dude up like bam. I was like, God dang, Ellie, this chick is brutal. 14-year-old killing this adult man. And then Joel finds her. He's like, oh, baby girl, baby girl. And Ellie starts crying. That scene right there is where I think Joel really started to look at Ellie as his second daughter. You could see Joel really starting to care about Ellie. And now let's get to the ending. The ending, okay? Again, I was setting myself up for a huge last emotional ending. I thought Joel was going to die somehow, and I thought Ellie was finally going to turn from her infection. Because remember, like later on during the game, like Ellie, she started to like be more distant, and she wasn't talking a lot. I thought she was like, I thought those were the effects of the infection like really starting to take over her body. So I'm truly thinking she's still going to change. But when the ending was Joel just lying to Ellie about the whole situation with the Fireflies, saying that they're no longer looking for a vaccine or a cure, and there's more people out there just like Ellie that are immune to this infection, and Ellie just saying, okay, and then the game just ends. I was like, was I just trolled? Like, where is this epic ending I was expecting this whole time? So when I seen that was truly the ending, I was let down, but not so much by the ending. I was setting myself up from the get-go for this huge last emotional scene because I thought someone spoiled the game for me. But when that was the ending, I liked it, but I was kind of let down. I thought they could have ended it off better. But the way I look at it, it's not so much the way the game ended. I think what you're really supposed to look at is the choices Joel decided to make to get to that point. Joel went from a guy that really didn't give 2 cents about Ellie. He just wanted to escort Ellie and be done with it, to a guy that the decisions he made towards the end of the game was all based on how much he cared for Ellie. Ellie is now really Joel's second daughter. He cares for her that much. And when you look at it, I mean, it's arguable, it's debatable to say if he made the wrong decision or the right decision. I don't really look at Joel as a hero. He's a dude that had to make a tough decision in a situation to where he might could lose the last person he cares for in this world. Really, the only person he cares for now is Tommy and Ellie. And how would you, if you were to put yourself in Joel's shoes and you had people saying, yeah, your partner might be our only hope. Can we take your partner and do brain surgery, just take out their brain, and then, you know, whatever happens. I mean, it's debatable that Ellie could have very well been the last hope for the future of humans. But again, it wasn't 100% confirmed that if they took out Ellie's brain that they would find a vaccine or a cure. So it's arguable. It's definitely an arguable debate. But you know, I enjoyed the ending. It leaves room for a sequel. It leaves room for a sequel to The Last of Us 2, bro. So hey, I'm all for it. Okay. So I enjoyed the ending. Definitely a controversial ending, and I mean, some people might like the ending, some people might not like the ending, but it's not about the ending, it's the choices Joel decided to make to get to that point, in my opinion. So saying that, The Last of Us is truly a great game. You know, it did have some flaws, like I said before, but this story was one of the best stories I've played in such a long time that it was just, I'm playing through this game again, you know. and as of right now, I'm gonna start to read the comic books and the art books in this second. And you know, you guys leave your thoughts about what you thought about the ending, some scenes that happened in The Last of Us. And saying that, again, if you didn't see my review, there it go right there. And The Last of Us.